So, thanks to Curtis Minter for supporting us $2.18. Please don't forget to support me on PayPal. Even it doesn't matter if even if it's $1, $2, $3. And once you do that, I'll send you source all the source code for my YouTube videos for free. So how do you do it? Once you send your amount, write under your note here, write your email. Then I'll send all the source code for my YouTube videos for free. Please don't forget to support me on PayPal right over here. The link is at the description below. So let's continue and let's get started. Hi friends, welcome to this new YouTube tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to create a profit and loss calculator using Python Kivy. Like let me show you for example now. Like when we enter our values like 57, 67 and 0, when we click calculate, then it shows 67, which and it tells us if we are running on a profit. And also if I input here 90, it tells us if we are it gives the value, it calculates the value, which is minus 23, and it tells us that is loss. And also if it's 90, both 90 and 90, so the value will just be 0. So that's what we are working on today. Hi friends, if this is your first time watching, if this is your first time encountering my YouTube channel, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button right now and like this video. And also, please don't forget to support me on PayPal. The link is at the description below. So let's get started. So first of all, we are going to be importing some stuff. So let's write from Kivy dot app, import app from Kivy dot properties, import string properties. Then from Kivy dot lang dot builder, import builder. And also the last one, which is from Kivy dot uix dot screen manager, import screen and screen manager. So that is our first step now. Our second step now is to create the class for the application. Let's say class, let's write class. Let's call it P PAL. Let's write PAL. Then write a bracket app. Then we create a function which is build self. Build, that is to manage our number of screens. Our number of screen. We're only using one screen, so we just first to just for let me just or let's go to the next step. I'll just write pass instead. Then class, which is main screen. Main screen, right screen over here. And also, so pass, we write pass. Then we come down here, over here, and we are going to write um what if PAL. We are going to write PAL dot run. So that is our second step. So now here's what we want to do now. We want to create our screen and organize everything, all the we want to organize all the components into the screen. So that's what we are going to be working on right now. So let's do under this app, we are going to create a function which is build function. Then we write screen equal to builder dot load string. Let's call it screen manager. Then write return screen. Then under here we are going to write screen manager manager. Then 1 2 3 1 2, you have to be 6 in number. So under here we are going to be creating our screen. So write screen manager. They will give 4 line spacing, 1 2 3 4. First screen. No, the name of our screen is main screen. Write main screen. They will come over here and write main screen. Create a class right over here. Screen. Then 1 2 3 4. We write the name of our screen. Name. We write equal. Write main. Then we'll come over here. Relative layout, which is, and under this relative layout 1 2 3 4, our orientation, we're going to make it vertical. Then our position, which is self dot pos. First of all, let's try and run it. No, let's try and do something. Let's come over here again to, let's write something. We write sm equal to screen manager. You write sm dot add widget, which is main screen, our main screen. That's what you are adding, and the name equal to main. Right over here, if you remember here, we wrote main as our name. So we come over here and write main. So let's run it. So the screen is just blank. So let's move to the second step. So now, right now, the screen is blank. So we need to put some stuff into the screen. So let's start writing something. So we are going to write. We are going to come over here. We are done with creating, organize. Let's put some stuff into the screen. So we come over here, we write label 1 2 3 4. Text, the text of our label. Let's write welcome to profit and loss calculator. So let's run it now. Let's see if anything is going to display. So a text is displaying here, but we want to increase the size of the text and also let the text be on top or right over here. So let's organize that. So here we are going to write our position hint, which we are going to write as center x. We are going to give it 0.5, and also center y. We are going to give it 0.905. So let's see if it's going to be organized. So we are finally, look at it now. We have finally moved the text from right over the center to the top of the screen. So the last thing that we have to do is to enlarge the text. So what are we going to do now? We are going to say font size, which is self dot height over 15 bracket times 0.775. Let's run it now. So now we have successfully increased the size of our text. So let's move to the next step. So now we are finally done in creating our first text now. So we want to create other text, which is like maybe we enter our total profit, our loss, and I will enter our profit or loss, and also not just only in text which will display that you should enter your profit or you should enter your loss, but also we are going to put a text input where we are going to be inputting the values. So let's work on that right now. Right over here, we are going to create another label, which is we're going to write enter total profit. So under here, let's run it now and see what it's going to give us. It's showing some error. I made a mistake right over here. I should have written text like this. So let's run it. Enter total profit. We want it to move to this side somewhere right over to this position. So let's change the position, and also we want to increase the text. Um, we want to increase the text size of it too. So let's work on that also. So we are going to give it position pos dot pos underscore hint, which we are going to give, say, center underscore x, which is the position should be 0.6, and center underscore y should be 0.705. So that we let's check now. Let's run it and see if it's going to be positioned correctly. It's showing some error. Or I'm supposed to bring this here and clear this other one too. So let's run it. Where's the error here? Let me see what I made. Let me see if there is a mistake I made somewhere. Oh, we are supposed to bring this over here. So let's run it. Enter total profit. We don't still like this position. Let's adjust the position properly. So we are going to write 0.3. Let's run it. Now we are satisfied with the position. We have already adjusted the position, so we are satisfied with it. So the next thing is to increase the size of this text right over here. So let's do that right now. So we write text. We are going to write font size, and the font size should be, we are going to write self dot height over 15 times 0.65. Let's run it. So now we are satisfied with, now we have enlarged the enter total profit text. So now the next thing to do is to put the text input. So let's work on the text input. So we go down and we write text input. Under the text input, we write ID. We should not, don't forget this. Write profit. Then we give it the size. We give it a size, and we dot hint, size underscore int, which is 0.3 and 0.05. That is x and y. And also Let's be fast about it. We don't want to waste time. So let's write our position underscore hint, which we are going to write. I'll just copy this right over here instead of me wasting time. I'll just copy this over here and paste. Control V. So let's just change our position and this thing. We are going to give it 0.6 and our Y will be 0.705. So let's check it and see what it gives us. Now it looks so good. Now, all right, we can impute any value. And now we have created a text input. So let's do something over the text input. Then the next step now, we are done with the text input for profit. So let's go to the loss side. You write label. I'll just copy and paste. Copy and paste. Label. Let's call it enter total loss. And our position will change this time. X will be 0.3, Y will be 0.605. 605. Our text input will change to loss and our position will change. Our position will change to 0. X will be 0.6, Y will be 6.605. Let's run it now and see what it's going to give us. So we have created our loss text input and also the label for text for total loss and the text input for total loss. So let's go to the next step, which is to create a button which we call calculate over here. So right over here now we are going to create our this thing, our button. 1, 2, 3, 4. Text. We are going to call we are going to name the text of the button, which is calculate. Calculate. And the hint size hint will be, you are going to give it 30% on X, on the X, and 1% on the Y. On our position, I'll just copy this right over here to save. In order to save time, I just want to copy this right over here. I'll paste it right over here. We'll just change our X value, which is 0.47, and Y will be, this time Y will change to 5.05. Let's run it now. I'm showing some error here right over here. Let's see, text. Oh, we forgot to do this. So let's run it now. As you can see now, the calculate button has been created. So let's move to the next step. So now the final thing for us we want to work on is to create our our text input for it to display our what our this thing, for it to display the answer. So let's work on that. So in case when we calculate and write our values here and over here, when we click on calculate, it will display under a text input right over here, it will display the answer and it's going to tell us if it's profit if we made a profit or if we made a loss. So let's work on that text input. Let's work on creating a text input over here. So here's what we are going to do. So right over here, we are going to write text. We are going to go down text text input. Our text will be, we are going to write 0 under our text. Display, let it display the 0. Also, we should not forget about this ID too. Let's call the ID answer. And also position hint. Let's copy this and paste it right over here, the position. So we are just going to change the position to 0.47 x, which is the x, and y should be changed to 0.305. So let's run it right now. It's too big. We have to change this size. We have to adjust the size. So to adjust the size, we are going to write size underscore hint, which is on the x is 0.3, and on the y, which is 0.15. So let's run it right now. So now it's adjusted. Now we are already done. We've made something. We've made our answer text, our answer box here. Whenever we just write any value here and we write our any value over here, when we click calculate, should display something right over here. So now we are already done with this interface now. So let's work on giving, let's ask Python to give, let's tell Python to give instructions. Let's give, sorry, I'm making a mistake. Let's give instructions to Python to calculate this value we input. Whenever we input these values, I will click on calculate. It's going to display an answer, which is either profit or either loss. So let's work on that right now. So now we are going to make sure that whenever we are going to make sure the calculation works properly and works fine. So let's work on that. So here's what we are going to do right over here. We are going to come over this place called main screen, and under our main screen we are going to, right, first of all I want to do something. There's something I want to do, which is we are going to create a variable which is called um what are we going to call the name of this variable? We're going to call it profit, which is equal to string. Here's what I want to do now. I want to make sure that whenever I run the application, I write pass. Whenever I run the application, I make sure it displays 0 right over here, and also here 0 too. And the way the 0 is being displayed over here, I want to display 0 in both profit and loss text input. So we are going to create our variables. We are going to name it profit, which is going to be equal to string property. Then under the string property, I'm going to just write it as 0. Same thing for loss too. I'll do the same thing to copy and paste right over here, loss. So now we are, look at what we are going to do. Just pay attention, pay close attention. We are going to come over to this Kivy file, and right over here we are going to, under our text input for profit, we are going to write root dot profit. Let's run it. Let me show you what maybe write text here equal to, we are going to write root dot profit. You see now zero is being displayed right over here. Let's do the same for loss too. We are going to go over here too. We are going to write text which is root dot loss, and when we run it now, it's going to show zero for over here too. So now we are done with this step. Now let's move to the next step. So this this is our last step. Now in our last step now, we are going to make sure that the calculation works properly. And when we input our values, we input any value, we click calculate, and whenever we click calculate, then it displays our value right over here. It calculates all the value accurately. So let's work on that now. Here is what we are going to do. We are going to write, we are going to come over this, come over here and create a function. First of all, aside from that, I'm going to create a variable which is called answer box, which is equal to string property. Then we write str over here. So under this class, we are going to create a function which is calculate. Then we are going to put self. Then we enter. Then we write try. Well, first of all, let's just write profit um variable. Look at, just pay close attention towards this side here. Equal to self. Here's what we are doing now. We want to connect this text input for profit. Whatever we write in this our text input under whatever we write under our text input for profit, we are going to connect it right. We are going to connect the value right over here, and here's why we are going to do it. Write self dot ids dot profit dot text, then our loss variable, the same thing. This profit here, pay attention, this profit is for this IDs. That is why we this for this ID. That is why I told you you have to put this ID is compulsory if you want to connect, be able to connect whatever we write under our text input. There we have to connect it. So we write also for loss to variable. We're going to write equal to self dot ids dot loss dot text, and we're going to write answer equal to 0. Our answer box here, we need to clear this off, it's not needed. So here's what we are going to do now. Whenever we click on the um whenever we click this function calculate is for whenever we press this button. So we are going to do something right over here. We're going to write on press, which is going to be root dot calculate, the name of the function, calculate, the name of the function right over here. We are going to make sure that we start calculating immediately we press the calculate button. We are going to be calculating. So, and when we are calculating, we are getting the text input for profit and we are getting the text input for loss. And also right over here, we're going to write answer is going to be equal to int. Then we are going to convert our profit value. We are going to be doing um integer calculation. We are going to convert this to an integer. Also int loss variable, that is profit 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 minus loss. That is what we are doing right over here. So I want it to display the answer, right? Print answer. That is to print this under this right over the console here, right over here. So let's move to the next step now. We are going to make sure it's let's move to the next step right now. So now for us to display, for now when we run this application now and we enter our values, aside from it displaying right over the terminal here, I want it to display here. It's not displaying at all the answer. Whenever we click any calculate, whenever we enter our value, it's supposed to show the answer right over here instead of it showing or printing the answer right over here. So here's what we are going to do. So right over here, after we write print answer, then we're going to write answer is going to be equal to self dot ids dot answer. This ids right over here, the answer text input, and over here we are going to write dot text, which is going to be equal to, we are going to convert it to string dot answer. Then we'll run it. Let's try to input our values and see if it's going to work now. Nice. Now the value is now displaying right over the right over here. So let's change our value 89. Now it's displaying right over here. Now the final step for us to do is whenever we input any value, it's going to tell us if it's profit, if we made profit. Right over here, it's going to tell us if we made profit, loss, or any kind of stuff. And if we also, so first of all, let's work on that first. So now for us to make sure it works like that, it displays if we made profit or if we made loss. Here's what we are going to do. Um, here's what we are going to do now, right now. We are going to create conditions. So now, let's say now we made a profit. Any value that will constitute profit will be above zero, or it will be above zero, and anything that constitute loss will be below zero. The values will be below zero. So let's create conditions. Let's write if answer is greater than zero. That means if our value we calculate is greater than zero, we're going to write answer equal to self dot ids dot, where all we are going to do is just to copy. We are going to copy and paste this right over here. We can delete this. We actually don't need it. So we write plus. Here under here, we are going to add our other, we are going to add the text of since it's above 0, we are going to make sure that Python displays profit text. We are going to write str, which is right over here. We're going to write profit. Also, if answer, we're going to write else. If answer is equal to 0, that means if our value is 0 after calculating, then we are just going to display the answer. We are not going to say anything. We are just going to display our value, which is 0. We are just going to display the 0 value, and anything outside of this, we're going to write else, and our else will be, we'll just copy this. Our else, anything that is not above 0 or equal to 0, we are going to, let's just paste this one. We are going to write loss. That means we lost, made loss, loss, loss. So let's run it now and see if it's going to work. 76 our value, and maybe 9. Our total profit is 76 and our loss is 9. So let's calculate. Now it's displaying it right over here now that we made a profit. So let's say our value for loss is 900. It's going to give us our value minus 824, which is loss. And let's say our profit is 900 and our loss is 900. It's going to display 0 as we did right over here. That anything that is equal to 0, if the answer is equal to 0, just display the answer. You don't need to say it's profit or loss. So our final step now, I want to show you something right over here. So our final step now right over here is that whenever we write any value outside number, whenever we write any characters outside numbers, it displays an error, which is value error. Normally, the application don't supposed to crash if we enter any value that seems to be outside numbers. So how are we going to do it to prevent it from crashing? Instead of it just crashing, we just make sure it displays, instead of it crashing, we make sure that right over this answer box, it displayed invalid value. So here's what you are going to do for this. So here, right over here now, we are going to come over to this side, our function right over here. We are going to go one space backward and write try. Then we'll come down right over to this side too. We write except, what was that error that we had? Which the name of the error is value error. And whenever it displays value error, all we are going to do is just to come right over here, and let's copy and paste this stuff and write our text, which is invalid, invalid value. So now whenever it's going to ignore, what we are trying to do here is that we are trying to ignore the value error. We are trying to skip the value error that is going to display for us whenever we enter an invalid value. So let's run it and enter any kind of characters that are invalid. I enter, it displays invalid value. It displays invalid value. Now it's not working fine. So let's test everything over again. So now whenever we enter zero 900 9,000, it displays zero. Whenever we enter something like 9,001, it displays, whenever our profit exceed loss, it displays the value right here and it display profit. And whenever the loss exceed the loss value exceed the profit, it displays our negative sign minus 81,008, which is loss. And whenever we write any invalid value, it displays invalid value. So that's all for this tutorial. Thanks for watching. Hi, this is if this is your first time watching, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button right now. Hit the like button, and also please don't forget to support me on PayPal. The link is in the description below. So that's all for this video. Thanks for watching and see you in my next video. So thanks to Curtis Minter for supporting us 2.18 US dollars. Please don't forget to support me on PayPal. Even it doesn't matter if it's $1, $2, $3. And once you do that, I'll send you all the source code for my YouTube videos for free. So how do you do it? Once you send your amount, write under your note here, write your email. Then I'll send all the source code for my YouTube videos for free. Please don't forget to support me on PayPal right over here. The link is at the description below. So let's continue and let's get started. Hi friends, today I'm going to show you how to switch from one screen to another screen using Python Kivy. Let me show you now. If I run this program, I click play, it takes me to another screen. I click menu, it takes me back to the first screen. So that's what we are going to be working on today. So please, if this is your first time watching, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and turn on the bell notification after you hit the subscribe button for more videos like this every week. So let's get started. First of all, we are just going to need few things now for this stuff to first get started. So we say from kivy.app, we'll write import. Let me write this from Kivy app import, then app. Then secondly, we are going to write from kivy.lang.builder import builder. And finally, we are going to write from kivy.uix.screen import screen. You write your command like this, then you write screen manager. So that's the first step. We are importing this. The main stuff is this builder, import builder and screen manager um, module. So now we are going to create a class for this application. We are going to let's call the application switch. Let's create a class and call it switch. Yes. Then write app under it. They'll write pass. They'll create another class again, which is the menu class deal. Or let's just call it first screen class. First screen. They'll write pass. Then the last class, which is class second screen. They'll write pass. So here's what we are going to do now. After creating the class, we are going to come to this switch app and create a function, which is build function, build self, then screen equal to builder dot load string, and let's call this string screen manager. So what we are going to do now, the reason why we are creating this is for us so we can be able to like switch, we can be able to, we want to create a kind of Kivy, sort of Kv file, but instead of us creating Kv file, we are just going to do this. We come over here and write screen manager equal to, then this apostrophe, the first apostrophe 3 times and the second apostrophe too 3 times. So this is where we are going to be managing our level. It's a sort of kind of, instead we will have used Kv, but I prefer for easy understanding, we just need to write our script, our Kv script here, right here, by creating this builder load string screen manager. So first of all, what we are going to do now, right now, we are going to come down right over here, write screen manager, then we give 4-line spacing, 1 2 3, then write menu, and second first, sorry, after we write our screen manager, we are going to write this first screen and second screen over here. First screen, then second screen. So for our first screen, we are going to define what should how our first screen should look like. So here's what we are going to do. We are going to I'll just copy this first screen, copy, paste it here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then first of all, before you do anything, write name. You take note of this, it's very important. Write name. You are going to write the name of the screen is first. Write first. Then we are going to create our button, which is let's define our button text. Let's call the name of the button play. So we are done with the first screen. Our first screen, we want to just make sure we just want to display a button which is written play. So we are going to do this for our second screen too. Also write second here and name this one second. I will call this one menu. So now we are already done with this second step. Now the third step is to make sure that whenever we press the first button, we are going to go to this second screen, and whenever we press this second button here on the second screen, we are going to return back to the first screen. So here's what we are going to do, how we are going to deal with this first screen. So we are going to write on button on press here on press, then root dot manager dot current equal to second. That means whenever we press this button, we are going to call root.manager.current. We are going to transition to this second screen class. We are going to move to this second screen. Whenever we press the this button here, we are going to switch to the second class. So the same thing we are going to do for this side. We just copy and paste here. We are going to name it first. That means while we are at the second screen, once we press the menu button, it's going to take us back to this first screen. So that's what we are working on right now. So we are almost done now. It's just for us to do some setting things now right over here. So right here, we are going to do one final thing. The final thing is that we are going to do this. Write sm equal to screen manager, then sm dot add widget. We are going to call this screen manager is for us to manage our screen switching. That's the main goal of this screen manager. So we are going to copy this. Let's copy this. First off, we are going to put the number of screens we want to add. We want to switch, which is from the first screen, then with this supposed to come down. Let's cut it and paste it somewhere here. First screen, and under that first screen, then we are going to call the name of the first screen name, which is first. Then we come down here and write name equal to first. Why is it displaying error here? Name, yep. Name, okay, yeah. The reason is display error. We now put apostrophe first. Same thing we are going to do for this second screen, too. Copy, we paste here, we call it second screen, and we call it second. So this is going to manage this screen manager. If you it is not going to work at all. So it's just what it does is to manage our screen switching. It is to manage our screen switching, and we have to include all the screens we are to switch. We are about to switch to, and then finally under this, we are going to write return screen. This variable, the variable right over here on the screen. Then under, we are going to write finally. We are going to write switch. Right. Let's run it and see. Let's check something. Let me check something. The error showing. Yeah, I think we made a mistake here. We are supposed to write screen right here, and also this side too. Screen over here too. Under this class first screen, we define it as a screen, and the second one too, we define it as screen. So when we run it, it shows it's working now. Whenever we click play, it switches to another screen, and whenever we click menu, it switches to the next. So that is how to create a program that switches screen with Python. So that's just click and it switches to another screen. So that's how to create a screen manager with Python. So please, if this is your first time watching, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell notification. And also don't forget to hit the and stay tuned to my next video in the coming weeks. Thanks for watching. So Thanks to Curtis Minter for supporting us $2.18. Please don't forget to support me on PayPal. Even it doesn't matter if it's $1, $2, $3. And once you do that, I'll send you all the source code for my YouTube videos for free. So how do you do it? Once you send your amount, write under your note here, write your email. Then I'll send all the source code for my YouTube videos for free. Please don't forget to support me on PayPal right over here. The link is at the description below. So let's continue and let's get started. Hi friends, today I'm going to show you how to create a counter app using Python. For example, let me show you the counter app I'm talking about. Run it. A simple counter app that when you press the plus sign, it will add the new number by +1, +1, +1, and when you click on the subtract button, it will reduce the number by -1, and when you click on reset, it will start all over again, turn the number to 0, and when you add, you just keep adding and subtracting. Just a simple counter app. Please, if you are new to this channel, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the like button. And every week I'll be uploading new videos every week. So just keep around and wait for my weekly videos. And also, please don't forget to sponsor me on PayPal. Anything you can support me with, anything you have that can support me on PayPal, please don't forget to support me. Thanks. So let's get started. So before we get started, please, I want you to know something, that if you haven't installed Kivy module, I have a video for you about how to install Kivy. I've made a video on it. So the video is at the description below. Don't forget to watch it. So from now, we are going to be covering some sectors, which is number 1, the user interface of Kivy. Number 2, setting up the layout of the counter app. Number 3, making commands to Kivy. And number 4, running the program. So let's get started with the work right now. So now let's start writing some things now. So we are going to write from Kivy dot UIX dot box layout, import box layout. I will explain what this box layout means later as I'm going on. So we are going to say from Kivy dot app, then import app. That's what we are going to write. App. So from Kivy properties, Kivy dot properties, import. Okay, yeah, the import is there. I don't need to write. Import string property, and finally import pickle. So that's all for the importing stuff. So now what we are going to be doing here is to create a simple screen with Kivy. So here's what we are going to do. If you want to create a screen for Kivy to display something for us, like a screen first. So we write class, then name of the app, counter app, then open bracket app, then we write pass, and we just write counter app dot run. So let's run it now. Now you can see now it's a blank screen. As you can see how it is, so the screen is blank, so we haven't put anything inside. That's why it's showing blank screen. So let's start putting some stuff inside. Now there is something important I need to tell you about this app. Don't forget to put app. It's compulsory if you are creating a class for the application. You have to put this app into this bracket. If you don't put this app, it won't run properly, or it's not going to even run at all. So here's what we are going to do about. So now our goal now is to insert this button into the screen. Like, let me show you. We insert button, text, and all this stuff. So right now the screen is blank. So here's what we are going to do. So we come to this side, we go to file, new, we click on file, new file name. We call it this same class here, which is counter app dot kv. It's very important. Don't forget to put the kv. So it says a file with the name counter app.kv already exists. So let us we've already created the counter app kv file. So let's start writing some code. So we are done with this UI interface of Kivy, whereby we are able to display an interactive screen. So we are done with it, and we have been able to create a layout where we are able to fix something into the screen, like button or any kind of stuff. But yet we are still going to fix some other buttons and text on the screen. So let's do something here. So the same thing, we are going to create another button. Let's create another button. Let me just copy and paste rather than wasting time. Create another button, then we paste this one here, put minus here. So let's run it. You see, that's what I'm talking about it being interactive, about the layout, how it's going to arrange your whatever properties you want it to display on the screen. That's how you arrange all of this, like this plus button and minus button. So you see it's well fixed in the screen because of this box layout. Right from the time I told you that box layout, it has been programmed in the module for it to perform certain functions like this, like the function, like to help fit certain objects on the screen. So you see minus, you can see minus, plus, and minus. So let's add another button, which we are going to call the reset button. So let's Control V and we go and let's write reset. So let's run it now. You see again, it arranged everything properly. So now let's add one more thing apart from. So I don't think we need to add anything. Let's just go on straight to the. Okay, let's add one more thing, which is the text, where it is going to be displaying 0, 1, or 2. So let's add that one, right? So for us to add the screen now, for us to add the text, Now here's what we are going to do. We are going to come right over to this side. Then we are going to do something very important here. Then we are going to write my text. We are going to write text. Then text then equal to this string property. We are going to be using the string property to display text, the countdown text. So write string property. Then what are we going to define that string property as? Let's write 0. So let's run it now. We haven't done something yet. Let's do one more thing. Let's create a let's add something to the screen, which is, call it label. And we are going to call that label text. And when we write this text, we are going to write root dot that text. We are going to this text right here. We are going to link it here. We are going to write text. So let's run it now. You will see the difference now. It has added a number here, which is 0. So that's how to add the count. That's how we are going to write that's how to write a text on the screen. So as we are now, we've done this UI interface of Kivy, which is displaying the screen of Kivy, setting up the layout, which is arranging those box and text on the screen. So we want to make the command work like, so we are in number 3, trying to make the making commands to Kivy. That means that maybe when we press here, it's going to show 1, click here 2, then when we subtract, it's going to reduce, and when we reset, it's going to turn to 0. The value here will turn to 0. So here's what we are going to do. We are going to write def. We are going to create a function. Then the function name is add. We write self. So then here's what we're going to do about this adding. You say self. We are going to say self dot count. Whenever we click on the plus sign, whenever we click on this, on the plus sign on the screen, it's going to show us, it's going to add by +1. We're going to write self dot count. We are going to, I forgot to do something. I'm supposed to create a variable which is count. So we'll come here and create count equal to 0. So we write self dot count. Then we are going to say plus equal to 1. Then that means that if we click on the plus sign, we are going to, is going to, that value, this string property will increase by +1. That text text I mean will increase by plus one. So then we're going to say self dot text equal to str dot self dot count. That means that whenever we press the button add, then it's going to add this one plus one, and this text will now be converted, will now be convert this text on the screen that I was displaying zero will now convert to that to this count variable here, and display this one, this plus one, the addition of plus one. That is what we are going to do now. So let's run it. Before we run it, let's just run it first and see if it's going to work. It's not working. Do you know why it's not working? Because we refuse to link it. We have to link this add button towards here. So here's what we are going to do. We are going to write on pressed then root on press then we are going to write root dot add. So we are going to link this add together with this one. Just watch what is going to happen. Press this. Still having issue. We are supposed to do something. That is to add this here. You should not forget to add this. So we run it. You see it's working right now because we linked it and we add this bracket. So let's go to the subtraction. Let's do the same for subtraction. So for the subtraction, let me just copy and paste this, and just here's what I'm going to do. I'll just say okay, df, instead of add I'll write subtract self. Whenever we press the button, it's going to give us -1 value. It's going to subtract -1, and it is going to be equal to the value in this count will be equal to this text here. So let's create let's also add the same thing for subtraction too. We are going to come here and add subtract, and let's run it too. You see it's working. The subtract button is working. It just remain all is left is just the reset button. So let's work on that. So for the reset button, let's create another function again. Let me copy and paste. This time is not subtract. We are going to say reset. Reset, right? So instead of it saying -1 or +1, instead of it adding -1 or adding +1, we are just going to say equal to 0. It's going to set everything equal to 0. So then this will be equal to, that text will be equal to the number of this count here, the value of this count right here. So let's run it. No, we don't need to run it first. Let's link it. Let's link this reset button. We're going to write press then root dot reset. Then let's run it. Let's add a value. Now you see it's working now. Let's subtract. It's working now. So we are already done. Let's work on the final stage now. I want to finally now, apart from us adding and subtracting +1 and -1, you want to do something very important. The last step is to arrange this, arrange the button and the text, this text here. So let me show you how to arrange it. Let me clear this off and go to, first of all, this is how you arrange them. The text, I want the text to start from the left. So you cut it, then you paste it here. And let me cut it properly and paste. So let's run it now. Yeah, it's properly arranged now, and it's looking nice. And also, no, I don't. If you want to add color, you just go here, you write color, then you define the color by the number. I just don't know how to do it, but let me just write any number. What is going to be? Okay, I've written a number right now, and let me paste to also, and also here too. Let me run it. Yeah, so it's now showing, the plus sign is showing something like light blue. So that is how to make a counter app application. Thanks for watching. Please, if this is your first time watching, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the like button for more content every week. And please don't forget to sponsor me on PayPal. The link is at the description below. So thanks for watching, and see you next time. So thanks to Curtis Minter for supporting us $2.18. Please don't forget to support me on PayPal. Even it doesn't matter even if it's $1, $2, $3. And once you do that, I'll send you all the source code for my YouTube videos for free. So how do you do it? Once you send your amount, write under your note here, write your email. Then I'll send all the source code for my YouTube videos for free. Please don't forget to support me on PayPal right over here. The link is at the description below. So let's continue and let's get started. Hi friends, today I'm going to show you how to create a simple notepad using Python Kivy. Let's run our application. So when I click on Notepad, it switches to the other screen. I edit whatever, I write whatever I want to write. Let's write today's tutorial. And while I click on menu, it saves my text, and I close the application too. I run it again. It still shows today's tutorial. So that's what we are going to be working on. So let's get started. Hi, please, if you are new to this channel, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button right now, hit the like button, and also share this video. And also, please don't forget to support me on PayPal, please, so that I keep being motivated and showing you this great content and helping you improve your programming and coding skills and Python skills with other programming language. So let's get started. So the first thing we are going to do now is to import some stuffs. First of all, let's write from Kivy.app, import app. Then from Kivy.properties, import string properties. Import os.path, import JSON, import we don't need JSON, just import Pico, import from Kivy dot lang dot builder, import builder, from Kivy dot uix dot widget, import widget. Another one again from Kivy dot text input, from Kivy dot uix dot text input, import text input. From Kivy dot uix dot box layout, you write import box layout. And finally, from Kivy dot uix dot screen manager, import screen and screen manager. So that's our first step. So secondly, we create the screens we are going to manage, which is the menu screen and the main notepad screen. So the menu screen will be we'll first write class. We'll create the app class, that is switch. Then we'll call it, we write app, and create a function here, build self, and we say screen, create a variable which is screen equal to builder dot load string, which is a screen, which we call it screen manager. Screen manager. So then from here, here's what we are going to do right now. Right over here, we are going to create the screen managers. Screen manager equal to for us to manage the screens. This is just like a Kivy form of file where we are going to manage the menu screen and the main notepad screen. So that's the main kind of Kivy file. I'm not used to creating a new Kivy, like coming right over here, creating a Kivy file. I can just decide to use this method. So let's create another class again, which is for first screen class. I will call it first screen. They will write screen. I get call it or just let's leave it like this first. I will write pass here, and also the second screen, we are going to create a class for the second screen. We write second screen. Second screen, then we pass the variable, right? Pass. So that's what we are going to do right here. We've created the app class, the first screen and the second screen. So now we are going to try to manage our screen switching. We are going to write something here, right over here, which is sm equal to, then we'll write screen manager, then we write sm dot add widget, then the widget is the first screen. Then here's what we are going to do. We just write first screen like this. Then we'll come here again, write sm dot add widget, that is second screen. Then also we do something here. We write switch, then dot run. So that's all for this step. The next thing we are going to do after this step, we come right over here. Now we program our switching of screen from a certain screen. So here's what we are going to do now. We write screen manager, then we give 4-line spacing, 1 2 3 4. Then write first screen, that is our first screen class, and second screen So we come here, we create our class here for first screen. First screen. Then we write, you come down here, we give 4 line spacing, one, two, three, four. Then we write name. The name of the screen is first. We call it first. Then we come down here again. We create our relative layout. Relative layout. Then we'll give 4 line spacing, one, two, three, four. Then write orientation, which is vertical. Then we come down here and write our position equals to self dot position. And also we create a button here. We come like this, we move back and write button. Then the name of the button, 1, 2, 3, 4, text, which is a notepad. Write notepad. Then on press, which is going to be root dot manage dot current. Wait, sorry, just let's leave this one first. We are creating the screens. I will explain to you what we are going to do next on that. Then second screen, we are going to create our second screen. One, two, three, four. Name, which is going to be second. Then 2, 3, relative layout. 1, 2, 3, 4. Orientation, which is going to be vertical to vertical. Then position, we are going to write self dot pose. Then size root dot size. So here's what I'm doing now. I'm programming how the first screen would look like. The first screen, I just want it to display button under my relative layout. I just want it to display button. And the second screen, I want it to display the text input, where we are going to input whatever we want to write on our notepad, and the menu, also the menu the menu button. So that's what we are doing here. So let's continue. So now what we are going to do now here, right over here now, is that after we write our this thing, we are going to create our text input. Then we'll go down, 1, 2, 3, 4, ID, we call it input. input text equals to root dot oh, text would just be just let's leave it like that. Then position dot position underscore hint, which is going to be we are going to write center. We are going to give it the position and the size of the text input. So let's give it center underscore x. Then we are going to write it like this, 0.5. Then center y, also we are going to give it 0.705, and we are going to put our bracket. Size, we're going to give it its size dot size dot hint, which is 0.95 and 0.5. We are just defining how the text input will look like. So finally, let's create our button, which is going to be the 1, 2, 3, 4 text equal to menu. Then let's define the size of the button, how it's going to fit below the screen. We are going to say size underscore hint, which is going to be 1 bracket 0.2. That is and let's just leave it like that. So we have already created how the interface, we have already created the interface of the first screen and the second screen. So now the next step is for us to be able to manage our switching of the screen from first screen to the second screen and also back to the first screen. We are going to be managing our switching. So now let's get started with it now. So here's what we are going to do now. We are going to go down right over here under this first screen where I put SM equal to screen manager. We are going to write name, which is equal to first. See what we are talking about here. This name of the first screen under this first screen class here. So we are going to come under here. So we are going to do the same. We are going to come under this sm.add widget, which is first screen, and the name of it equals to first. And also the same thing is going to be applied to this one too. So second, we also wrote second right over here, the name, which is second. So, and finally we are going to come over this side here on press. What happens now when we press the notepad button? When we click on the notepad button, what will happen now? So here's what we are going to write over here. We are going to write root dot manager dot current, which is going to be equal to second screen, which is going to be equal to this variable here. And also when we click, let's also do the same thing. I'll just copy and paste. Also here on pressed, we are going to write the same thing, but this time is going to be first. To switch back from the second screen, whenever we are in the second screen, we click the button or click the menu button, we are going to switch back to this first screen here. And let's just call it save. So let's run it now. It says some error, type error, first screen takes no argument. uh, oh, here I'm supposed to write screen manager. Let's see if it's going to work now. Right now, manager, screen manager, dev, screen now, screen equal to screen manager. Then, oh, we forgot to do something. Let's write return screen. I guess it's going to work right now. First screen is still showing the error. Type error. Oh, finally, I think we forgot to write something, which is screen. No, write screen. So let's run now. It's going to work this time around. Uh, Attribute error pressed where um on press. It's on press. Let's run it right now. It's going to work. If we click on here, it switches to this place, and if we click save, it goes back. Now we've already created the screen management. We've already created the screen management. Yeah, so let's get to the next step. So the next step, now we can write something. We can be able to write anything under here, under this text input. But what we want to do is that whenever we want to save, we want to make sure that the saving is working, that even while we close it and we run it again, it's going to show, but it's not showing right now. So we are going to be working on the saving part right now. So let's start writing some scripts. So now the next step we are going to do right over here now is to for us to be able to save this, for us to be able to save the application whenever we click the save button. So here's what we are going to do. We are going to create a function right over here and clear the pass. We are going to clear the pass and write df save. Then under the def dot save, we are going to write text equal to pickle. Remember, we imported the pickle module when we were writing. We were importing some other stuff too. So we are going to we import. You have to import the pickle module first. Then we write dot dump, then brackets. We are going to call the file here, the name of the file here, which is, let's call it Notepad. Then write our comma again. No, we are not supposed to do that. Name of our this is write text, then write comma. Ignore the error. Then write open, then open bracket again. We are going to write the name of the file. The name of the file we are saving, which is Notepad. We are going to call it Notepad, then bracket WB. So that is for our saving part. So for our loading, for us to load the application whenever, maybe when we just open the screen, when we just after we've input any text and we click on the save and we cancel the application, and while we open it and we click on the notepad screen and next move over to the second screen. So when we move to the second screen now, we want to load the text. So here's what we are going to write now here. We're going to write load equal to text equal to pico dot load bracket open file, which is just open, which is notepad. We call it notepad. This same saving the name of the file we save, which is notepad. Then we come here, write comma, or we write rb. So that is our for our loading part now. So let's clear the error right now, right over here. So to clear the error now, let's go right over to this second, from here now, second screen, where whenever we press our button save, aside from us moving back to the first screen, we write on press again. We write on press, then we write um root dot save. That means whenever we press our button, it's going to it's going to do this, which is to save the application. It's going to save the text we've written here. So now there's one thing that is being that I'm puzzling. I'm puzzling on my mind now, is that how are we going to get that exact text whenever we are going to save that our notepad, whatever we've written here, whatever we've written over that notepad, and also load that same text again when we open the application. So let's work on it now. Here's what we are going to do. So for us to make sure that whatever we write under this text input, Python will help us save that exact text. Here's what we are going to do over here. We are going to write text equal to self. We are going to first of all create a variable. I want to show you something. So that means whenever we write something under this text input here, we are going to save it. So here's what we are going to write here. Text equal to self dot ids self I forgot to start ids dot input dot text. So that means we are calling on this input id whenever we want to connect this text input, whatever we wrote, we must write id first. We will now write input. We now write anything we want to name the id. Then we'll now come here right over here and create a variable for it, self.ids2, in order to get that exact text we've written. And also we are going to, on this place here, right over here, whenever we press the save button on press we're going to write root.save. That means we are calling on the save function. right over the under the second screen, which is we are going to call this self.ids. That means we should get the text we've written here, and after when we get the text we save it. And also not only saving the text, we print the text. So I'll show you something right over there. So the loading, we need to clear. I clear the I have to, first of all, let's work on the saving part. You have to work on the saving part. Let's see if it will work now. Notepad. Let's write the note, my notepad, my notepad, and notepad. Let's write it correctly. Once we've written it now correctly, it shows none. It seems I'm missing something right over here. We will have done something right over here, which is let's call this, it says none. What will be the issue here? I think we have to put this print here, right over here. The notepad. I'll click on save. It prints the notepad. So it has already saved our the text we've written right over here. It has saved it now. Now it's for us to load it. Now we are going to work on the loading section, because you have to pay attention in this loading section I want to talk about. So here I want to show you something which you have to pay close attention right over here. But first of all, before we do that, let's try to load. Let's try to load our application. Whenever we save, I want to load whatever we save. Whenever we open the application, maybe we open the application for it to load the text that we've written. So here's what we are going to do right over here. I'm going to say load equal to text equal to pickle dot load, which is open which is notepad, the name of the file. Then we write comma, then rb. So then we print the value, which is print that our text load, which is load. So let's run it right now and see. So we run it now, the notepad. It loaded it for us there right over here. It load what we say. So let's just write something right over here. Hi. It saves the variable. Now we close the application, and when we run it again, it load the variable hi. And the final thing we are supposed to do, when we click on this, when we click on the notepad, it should display this hi here. So how are we going to do it? Let's work on that. So what we are going to do is to create a variable called text input. Text input. We are going to say equal to string properties. We've imported string properties right over here, which it is say string properties. So we write string property, comma, then write load, and we are going to write we are going to write load. Let's just bring this down right over here. So, and we have to make sure we link this text input to whatever we write here, we should display what the text. We should display our load text right over this place, which is the text here. So here's what we are going to do. We are just going to write text input. We are going to write text input. Root is root dot text input. So let's see if it's going to work right now. You'll see it's displaying the high. Let's write another ty, then we save it. It saves as ty. And when we close the application and we run it again, it still display ty. There is one more thing we are supposed to do, and please pay close attention. So I want to show you something very important right here. Normally, our application is working fine. It's working fine. Whenever we open it, we load back our listing, we save it, we close the application, and we run it again, and it shows back what our previous text we've written. So here's something you have to pay attention to now, right over here. I want to change the name of this. Normally, first of all, I want to say something. Whenever we open maybe now I'm new to the app now, I want to use the notepad. Normally, I'm supposed to open the notepad application and it should be empty. It should instead of me it's loading anything, it's supposed to be empty. And whenever I type anything and save, it saves the whatever I've written. It saves it even while I close the application. I run it again, it still saves. So how are we going to do that now? So we already have this notepad saved. Now let's assume that I'm starting again, I'm making a new application, a notepad application. I put it as notepad one and notepad one here, the name of the file. I save it as another thing now. I want to load the application. It says it displays an error. It's going to display an error which is file not found error. There's no such directory as notepad one. The reason why it's saying that, because we haven't saved anything, we can't open what we haven't saved. It's going to definitely display an error. And if we build this as an application and we run it on maybe our mobile device or anything, it's going to crash, and definitely it won't work like that. So what we want to do now is that when we open the application, it won't definitely show any error. Since we haven't saved it, we can't load what we haven't saved. It won't show. We are going to make sure that it's not going to show any error. And when we save it again, we save it as notepad one, the name of the file as notepad one. Then when we load it again, when we load the file again, it's going to load back this notepad one again without error. So here's what we are going to do right here. So we are going to write if os dot path dot is file, which is, so we are going to tell Python now that if if we haven't if we have saved this file called notepad one, let's call it notepad, the file name which is notepad1. If there is a file named notepad1, we then load the application. But if there is nothing like that, we write else right over here, else. Then if If there is no such file as this notepad one that is showing file not found error, if there is nothing like that that exists, here's just what we want Python to do. We want it to just load this. We are going to load our text input, which is going to be equal to string property. We are going to make it empty. If such directory does not exist, then text input is going to be empty. And also, let's write something. I'm missing something here, right over here. That means I don't know why it's showing error. I think we did not do something else. Let's adjust this text. Um, all right, still showing some error. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. Then also we are going to write something else. So that means if what we are saying now is that if this file exists, if this save file exists, notepad one exists, then we should load the file directly. But if it doesn't exist, we should just make sure that the string property is empty. We should just make sure that the text, we should not load anything at all. We should just not load anything. We should just make sure that the text input should be empty. This text here, right over here, the text here should be um empty. Nothing should be written here. We can just write it like this and give it space if you want, or just leave it like this. And let's tell Python to write something. Let's say print um file does not exist. And also right over here, right over this side too, we tell it to print file does exist. So let's run it now. It's not going to give us that this error, this file not found error again. Trust me, let's run it. Now it shows here, right over here, it says file does not exist. And when we save something, write anything, I'll click save. It saves our text. I will terminate the application. I will run it again, and when it says files does exist now, because we've already saved the notepad one file. So when we load it now, it will put the application. No matter how we change it, maybe someone is just starting, wants to save it as a different, maybe someone is making a notepad application, we change it. Let's even change it to anything we want to change it. Notepad 11 here, and also notepad 11. It's still going to work. Let's run it. So we run it. It say file does not exist. It did not give us any error. So let's write anything here. Save. And let's terminate the application. I will load it. And it says files does exist. I will click on notepad. It loads back. So that is how to create a simple notepad with Python. Python Kivy. So that's all for this YouTube tutorial. Thanks for watching. And please, if you don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and share this video to others who needs it. And please don't forget to support me on PayPal. So don't forget that, so that I keep creating more content for you. And upgrading your skills in Python programming and other programming languages. Thanks for watching. So, thanks to Curtis Minter for supporting us $2.18. Please don't forget to support me on PayPal. Even it doesn't matter if it's $1, $2, $3. And once you do that, I'll send you all the source code for my YouTube videos for free. So how do you do it? Once you send your amount, write under your note here, write your email. Then I'll send all the source code for my YouTube videos for free. Please don't forget to support me on PayPal right over here. The link is at the description below. So let's continue and let's get started. Hi friends, today I'm going to show you how to add sound to your Kivy application. For example, let me show you what I'm saying. Like now, if we press this button, here it clicks sound, and when you click on reset, you hear a click sound like this. So that's what we are going to be working on today. And please, if you are new to this channel, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the like button. And also, please don't forget to support me on PayPal, support my work on PayPal. At the link is at the description below. So let's get started. So first of all, here's what we are going to be doing right now for this if we want to make our sound to work. So first of all, we go search for the sound we want to use, that we are going to use for our script. So I created two different sounds which I'm going to use for this scripting. So you can get your own wherever you want. It's just click sound, and it's two sounds I want to use, which is click and reset. Then after that, you create a file like this, you create a folder like this, you call it or you name it however you want to name it. So after you're done naming it, then you come to this your PyCharm here, you drag the audio straight right over to the project. You drag it straight over here to this YouTube tutorial, to your project work. Then you refactor it. So you click on refactor. So now we have the file here and the audios here. So the next thing we are going to be doing now is to create a variable under our main screen, the screen of the application. We are going to create the variable, the sound variable, the screen application. We are going to, first of all, we are going to start with reset. 1 equal to, we are the first variable we are going to, the first variable we are going to create is reset. Let me show you what I mean. This variable, we are going to make sure that this sound works too, and both this and this too works. So here's what we are going to do. We are going to create two variables for two audios. First of all, I'll call this one reset 1. Reset 1. The reason why I name it because I already have a variable called. Just watch what I'm going to do. But I just name it reset 1 equal to. I will say sound loader dot load, then bracket. We start by writing the first name of the file, which is audio. You put slash this reset here, reset dot wev. We're having issues here, showing sound load. The error is showing error here at this sound loader. Click here, we import. Click on Kivy core audio sound loader, the first module. Click on it, the error has gone. So the same thing too we are going to do for the second this thing. So we just name it as instead of reset, we call it click variable. We create this variable, name it as click, exactly how it's being named right over here. Call it click. So we are done with the first step by creating the variable. The second step now is to create the function. That if for example, whenever we click this, whenever we click the plus sign, it's going to, the function will be called when we click the click or we click reset. We say df click, then we put self. That means whenever, pay attention, whenever we call the function of click, we are going to write self dot click dot play. So that's how we call this variable. That's how we call this function. Also the same thing for reset, df reset. We call it, we name it reset 1. We write reset 1. The reason why I wrote it like that, because I would have write reset, but the reason why I wrote reset 1 is because I have the function called the reset. If I write reset over here, it's going to contradict with the other one. So I just have to name it in a different in a way in which it doesn't contradict. So we are done with the second step. Now the third step now is for us to call this function up. To call this function that whenever we click on, we come to this our Kivy here. Whenever we click on either the plus sign, on press, whether we click the plus sign, the minus sign, or the reset sign, it plays the audio. So on this on press we did, it's going to call, when we press when we press the button, it's going to call out the function, which is whenever we press the plus sign, it's going to call out this function, which is add, and which is over here. That means we are going to increment the value by +1. So also here we can also write comma, then we come here, we look at the one which we want to slot. I want to slot this click. We are going to write root dot click. So now we are done with the other one. We are done with, also I want it also for the subtract button too, and also the reset button. We are just going to change the value. I'll just copy and paste for time's sake. We are going to call it root dot reset one. So that's what we are going to do. Let's run it now. It's showing some error now. Reset one. Okay, line 19. Down to figure out this error. Write load in a small letter. It's just the issue now we are having. Okay, let's run it now. It's going to work. Showing some issues again. Let me run it again. There is something wrong about it. Self.click.play. Let me see. It says object has no attribute. Play. Let me see. Maybe we are doing something wrong. Oh, I've already seen the error. The error is around here. Let's just name this click sound, and here this reset one, just call it reset sound. And also here we are going to call this one reset one. Since we are calling the name of this audio file, we call it reset one. We come back to this side. It's right click sound, and also here SOUND sound, click sound and reset sound. Call this one reset one. So let's run it now. I hope it's going to work. You can hear some sound. So that's how to make that's how to add sound into Python Kivy. So thanks for watching. Please, if you are new to this channel, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and like this video, and also please don't forget to support me on PayPal. On the link is below in the description box. So thanks for watching.